All right, guys, thanks for dropping back by. Today, I'm just trying to talk to you guys about the Canon EOS C70. I've been promising this video for some time now. I got a hold of the C70 back in January. Actually, the last week of December, I got a hold of the C70 and it carried on until January, but it was short-lived. I had to take the C70 back to where it belonged, and I missed out on being able to do a few of the videos I had planned on doing. So I have it for a short time today, and I want to do the one big video that a lot of people ask me about, and that's live streaming with the C70. Now, there are a few ways to do this. One, you can live stream through the HDMI port with a capture card into OBS or Streamlabs OBS, Zoom, Twitch, YouTube, all these different platforms. Or you can IP stream, which requires a network connection, either Ethernet or wireless. There are approved wireless adapters that you can use to plug into your Canon EOS C70 through the USB Type-C port. And I'll put that list up here on the screen so you can see the approved Wi-Fi adapters. I have not used any of these Wi-Fi adapters yet. I did have a Wi-Fi adapter I tried that was a Link Systems, but it did not work. So use all these at your own risk. These are the lists that Canon has put out as approved items that you can get. Now, they only have 2 on the list for Ethernet adapters, but I've used not a single one of these. Actually, I have the Belkin. I'm going to put a link in the description for this Belkin adapter. Yeah. So I'll put a link in the description for this Belkin adapter. It is actually a pretty good adapter. It is USB Type-C to Ethernet. I use it for my MacBook, but it does work with the Canon EOS C70. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to go ahead and plug in the USB Type-C to Ethernet with the Ethernet cable attached to it already. You'll notice an icon pop up in the left under your XFAVC cards. That means that the USB is recognizing that you have a USB plugged in. So you go to the menu settings and you will have some options down here. You might not have all of them because there's a step process that you have to go through when setting all this up. So you definitely need if you have network up there, you definitely need to enable network. Now there's one, except the active IP streaming won't show highlighted until you're done with this process. Okay, so you go to new connection wizard, IP streaming. You can either select existing setting or you can create a new one. So you go to create a new setting, and we're on Ethernet. Now, if you're on Wi-Fi, you can select Wi-Fi if you want, but I haven't tried Wi-Fi. So if you are more comfortable with just following along with what exactly I'm doing, then we're going to go with Ethernet. And then you can set up with network connection. All right, and typically the best way to go is to do automatic settings. So we're going to select that and leave TCP, IPv6 settings disabled. Now there's situations where you'll want to have it enabled, but for this situation, let's go ahead and leave it disabled because you don't really need, in most cases, you don't need IPv6. And if you are someone who needs it, we can talk about that in a later video and discuss how to go about doing that. But for this one, we're going to just use IPv4. So we'll leave that disabled. Okay. Now create a new function setting. And I like to get RTP plus FEC. Your destination server is going to be your IP address. Okay, so your destination server is your IP address, and then the port number, it's like auto set to 5000. So in this case, we can pick, say, let's pick 5005 and set it. All right. The FEC port number is 5007. Interval is 100. Just leave those the way they are. If you want kind of a decent connection, I would go at 4 megabits per second, 1920 1080p, 59.9 for progressive. Yeah. So you can either do that or 9 megabits per second. I usually go with the 4 just so we can get a good stream out. And whatever channel your audio is being monitored through, like channels 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, you can just pick one or the other, and that's the audio that people will hear when you're streaming. So mine is on channel 1 and 2, so I'm picking that one. Because my camera is set in 4K DCI mode, it has to down res the settings to 1920 by 1080 10-bit so that I can continue using setting up the IP stream. All right, and so we're going to set our destination, set number 3. Okay, now we have that set up. Okay, so after you've done all that and saved it, now you're back at your network screen. So you got network enabled. Okay, after you've done all that, you're back at your network screen. So you have enabled, you have your set 1, 2, or 3, connection settings and advanced settings. And since you're connected to one of those settings, you would actually go to next page over, activate IP streaming, enable, and at the top of your screen, right across from XF, AVC, or whatever you have it set to, you'll see a little camera icon with IP next to it, which that means you are ready to go. All right, so now that you have all that set up, you should see a little indicator below your memory card times that shows that you're connected to the network. If it's red, you're not connected. If it's yellow, it means you're connecting. If it's white, that means it's finished the process and it's fully connected. It'll be the same with the camera and the IP icon. It'll go from red to yellow to white. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. In the next video, I'll show you how to set it up with OBS and other platforms so that you can actually live stream. But until next time, I'll see you later.